Welcome back, Glow Gang. Thank you for joining us on our exclusive YouTube playthrough of The Letter. Horror visual novel game, lots of reading. I'll keep it short. You know how it is. You know what's been going on. Haunted Mansion, chain letter. It is Saturday morning and we're about to go back, I think. Let's see what our new journal entry is. Oh, it's for the next day. Isabella received an unexpected call from her family back in the Philippines. An emotional moment. Her mother informed her of her father's deteriorating condition despite treatments. Nonetheless, the young woman assured her and continued to work hard to be able to support all of them. Cool. So now we know why she's so invested in selling this mansion. She has to, because she's paying for her family of, I think she said 8, and her father's illness treatments. So we've got to get this mansion sold, guys. Okay, Isabella, time to get that mansion sold. Unfortunately, before I can take a single step away from my phone, it rings again. No doubt Mama forgot to say something. Mama, did you forget anything? Excuse you? I'm too young to be your mom. Are you still sleeping? Hold on, never mind that. Get yourself in the office. Hurry. Office? What about the open house? Oh no, is it Sir John? Did he hear about yesterday? Am I in trouble? Oh god, oh god, oh god, I'm gonna get yelled at, aren't I? What did I do? What do I do? I'll buy you an extra box of donuts if... No, it's nothing like that. Will you calm down? Get yourself here, alright? I'll tell you everything then. There's the telltale din of several feet shuffling against wooden flooring and an indistinct yelling in the background before Rose cuts the connection. That isn't in any way comforting. But it's enough reason for me to hastily discard my phone and finish my shower in record time. I make it to our office within 20 minutes of leaving my apartment, completely disheveled and out of breath. A feat if I take into account my usual travel time. Routine clamor common to Briar Realty Corporation's Luxburn office greets me as soon as my foot crosses the threshold. Where the hell is Luxburn? Does anyone know? Does anyone know where the hell this Luxburn place is? Papers rustling, telephones ringing at sporadic intervals, agents talking at varying volumes, staff moving about, and... Where the hell is Sai? Where are my employees? What the actual fuck, guys? Of all the times to disappear without notice. My boss's words turn muffled as someone else closes the door to his office, likely the work of our HR manager. Throughout the past weeks, he's been in a bad mood over a few employees who have failed to report to work. I hear they're still trying to get a hold of them, but to no avail. The result is half their workload have been shifted to all available staff, so as not to lose clients. Not that I mind the extra work. If anything, it means I'll have more to send to my family back home. Although the rumors of a branch closure are circulating because this is indeed a bit worrisome. My bag barely touches the top of my table when Rose pulls me aside. Here, I need you to help me with these papers. If you could also get these signed and photocopied before lunch today, that would be great. One after another, she thrusts a bunch of paperwork in my hands without explanation. A page flutters away from the top of the pile, and I lean down to pick it up, my eyes scanning the top of the pages as I straighten. A purchase and sale agreement. Rose simply gestures her thumb in the direction of our visitor's lounge when I tilt my head in question. There, seated on the sofa and looking completely out of place in the humbly decorated room, is the same couple from the day before. The Wrights. Something bubbles up in my throat. Their presence in the office can only mean one thing. They're buying it? We got a deal? She swats at my hand, tugging her sleeve, although her eyes are alight with something akin to joy. She wants this sale to happen as much as I do, and now that it's here, the deal needs to be closed. Documents need to be signed, but the elation is there. Along with a foreboding feeling I can't quite pinpoint. I had to do a little damage control, but they're already interested in acquiring the property even before they attended the open house. I mean, isn't it obvious? They already hired an interior designer. I've never seen a buyer as aggressive as Madame Wright. She didn't even try to negotiate a lower rate. One at a time, Rose. I can't process everything you're saying at once. What do you mean? They're paying 15% higher than the listing price, as long as we get the paperwork done as soon as possible. I think if we allowed it, they'd be paying up front, too. Even with that urban legend? Rose nods. Oh, I was so sure we lost the sale after yesterday. Don't look surprised. We still have to conduct some last few checks before we completely hand it over to them. Please. I'll happily do the paperwork, Rose. I'll even go to the land registry myself and make sure all the property changes hands with every single legal blessing. Don't they have better things to spend money on? I'd haggle it down to the lowest possible price if I were in their place, especially with stories attached to it. Not that my opinion matters one bit here. We're just their agents who are going to receive the hefty commission after all, nothing more. Rose gives me a pat on the shoulder, signaling that she's heading back to them and an unspoken instruction for me to follow after I'm done. It doesn't take me long to finish what work she left me. In fact, having our boss sign an agreement is the easiest, since it has them put in a better mood the entire office's relief. Ma'am Hannah calls me over at the moment she notices my presence at the lounge door. Her lips are twisted in a frown. She doesn't seem particularly happy to see me, and I am not surprised. Who wouldn't be? I almost created a scene. Mr. Wright, however. Why, if it isn't the little Lily, I trust you're feeling well now. It's Isabella, sir, not Lily. I appreciate your concern. I'm feeling better now. I really don't understand why they can't get my name right. It's a fairly common name. It shouldn't be too hard to remember. Regardless, I hand him their copy of the agreement. I believe I can take that. Thank you very much. With how elegantly she plucks the papers off my hands, it's easy to think that there isn't any trace of irritation in her. Oh, but there is. Radiating in her stiff stance, the way she's standing at a fair distance from her husband, and how the two look to be ignoring each other. Seeing this scene, it soon becomes clear to me that I'm not the one who has put her in a bad mood. Did they fight? Most probably. I've seen it happen dozens of times with previous clients. It's a shame, especially with their new mansion. I never did like it when my own mama and papa fight. I hope they'll make up soon. Apparently satisfied with what she's seen, Ma'am Hannah claps her hands together before extending it to us for a shake. Rose and I release the breath we've been holding, both of us more than happy to return the gesture. That settles it then. Are you really sure about this property, ma'am? We could easily find you a bigger one among our current listings, something with a modern touch. Something not haunted, perhaps. Rose shoots me a warning glance that clearly says, don't make a scene. We're almost there. Of course. Why wouldn't I be? The house is absolutely perfect, isn't it, darling? A helipad would still be a nice addition. Yes, well, we'll get there eventually. As I was saying, if your partner had the documents yesterday, we would have got it right there immediately. Shame she didn't have it. Well, there are still a few necessary documents we need you to sign after all, but we'll let you know once we have those finalized. We'll be handling the process for the rest, so don't worry about it. Within a week? We still have a housewarming party to plan after all. You know how much thought gets put into those things. There are servants for that, darling. Love, servants or not, you're going to make people listen to your input nonetheless. No more than a week, ma'am. Barring unexpected delay, of course. You can leave it to us. Excellent. Well, then I'll leave it to you two. It's been a pleasure doing business with you. Oh, and before we forget, she discreetly folds something into both our hands and winks, a finger raised to her lips, demanding our silence. What happened the day before was quite unfortunate, but you did get us what we wanted in the end. That, at the very least, is commendable. But this, ma'am, I can't accept this. Don't you worry, darling. It's a small thing coming from us. Consider this your bonus for a job well done. She smiles sweetly, like this is simply the most normal thing in the world to do. Oh, before I forget, my lovely interior designer would appreciate it if you would hand her a copy of the floor plans as soon as possible. She is dying to work on the house. You can do that, yes. Here's her contact. Certainly, ma'am. We'll have it processed as soon as possible. I knew I could count on you, lovelies. I hope to see you too soon so we can get this closed. Just like that, transaction over and done with. My mind's still reeling even after they've left. Other agents would kill to have clients like them. A part of me feels lucky about the fact. No lengthy negotiations, no sudden change of minds, just talk, signatures, a few handshakes here and there, and we're done. The other part? A second ago, we sold a haunted property to two innocent clients. Sure, the commission's big enough to continue funding Papa's treatment and hospitalization, big enough to pay for all 4 of my younger siblings' schoolings. Heck, it'll keep me away from instant noodle diet for months. I don't have to go back to the mansion as well once the deal's been closed, much to my sanity's relief, but knowing that something's in there and we gave it to the good couple to spice that. Oh, Isabella, the things you do to sell a house and get money. Papa won't be happy with that. At least I have good news to tell them next time I call home. The little lie I told Mama this morning isn't a lie anymore. Well, there's something. So how does it feel? How does what feel? Your first big multi-million-pound sale, silly. I know you've been with us for years, but this has to be memorable for you. England. It's got to be in the UK, because pounds. There we go. We finally figured out where it is. You know, not that anybody other than me was really stressing about that. Memorable is an understatement, Rose. Come on, show some enthusiasm. They gave us a bonus, too, aside from the commission, and the other bonus the boss promised. What are you going to do with it? Oh, I don't know. Send it home, probably. All of it? Well, not everything, of course. I'll leave some for my living expenses. Listen here, Isabella. I'll teach you something I should have told you before we ended your training. She slings an arm over my shoulders and leans in closer to my ear as though she's about to share a big secret. It's okay to celebrate from time to time. I don't get it. It's simple. Go out, do something for yourself. Throw a party. Treat your friends to free food. Didn't you say the last one's some sort of tradition back home for you? Hello, this is practically a done deal. Is throwing a party a bit excessive? Your call. I won't say no to an invitation, by the way, in case you really are planning to throw one. A few drinks would be nice, too. Thank you very much. I don't think my apartment's big enough for that. You could always move. Bloody hell, you're working in real estate. I think I'll pass. That's too much of an unnecessary expense for me. But I did promise Becca free lunch in case the sale goes well. You go do that. Oh, hold on a second. She quickly removes herself from me to answer the phone on her desk. Her tone shifts from playful to professional in a span of a few seconds. Today? Not a problem. I could bring you a copy of the contract if... Must be another client. Nothing surprising. She's one of our top agents, no matter how modest she appears. A saleswoman through and through. I, on the other hand, have very little knack for it. Of course, I learned eventually. I had to. But someone else will, without a doubt, do a better job. Once, though, in a stupor, Rose told me a story of what could have been. Years ago, wide-eyed, young, brimming with what yet to be fulfilled dreams and ambitions, she was a term or two away from a nursing degree. Out of courtesy, I never pressed on the matter further, but perhaps it's where the sense of fondness started. A small connection due to one similar experience in our respective lives, of goals we both let pass by us because of the circumstances we were in. I'd be happy to discuss this over tea, ma'am. All right, I'll be right there, thank you. New client? Reassigned. Have you heard from Mark at all? Not since the first visit to the mansion. Why? No news from HR yet? None at all. Boss thinks he ran away. No doubt, though. He's too much of a wimp for that. There must be another reason, though. Who knows? Anyway, I've got to meet this one. See you later. She throws a wave over her shoulder and rushes out of the office. The lunchtime bell sounds shortly after, followed by the chatter of fellow agents who are heading out on a much-needed break. Ordinarily, there's no need for me to go out, but oversleeping didn't allow me the luxury of packing my own lunch today. If one considers taking an instant noodle cup from my pantry, packing your lunch. So I do want to jump back really quick to her saying that she hadn't heard from Mark since the first day at the mansion. So I wonder if he had the mansion before them and that's why he disappeared. Question mark? What do you guys think? Leave a comment in the comment section and let me know if you think I am reaching or if maybe I'm onto something. The agents that have been disappearing might have had something to do with this letter. Time to make good on the promise I made to Becca, I suppose. Maybe invite Zach and Ash too. In the end, only Becca and Zach could come. That's probably a good place to stop for the day. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Again, this is our YouTube exclusive playthrough of The Letter. We upload every Saturday a new part. Thank you so much for watching. If you could poke those like and subscribe buttons, that would be super groovy because it helps me to be able to continue making and improving my content, and also acts as an offering to the algorithm gods. And we all know how important it is to appease our Lord and Savior Algo. Also, be sure to check out my live streams on Twitch and join the Glow Gang by following me on Twitter and joining our Discord. Links for those as well as all of my artist credits can be found in the description below. As always, stay bright, lamplights.